Well, the winless start continues to our Premier League managerial tenure with Crystal Palace, albeit we did stop the rot in the Cup and we are picking up a couple of points. But we're going to need a big deadline day. There's still uncertainty hanging over our star player. We've got the small matter of Liverpool coming up as well. Not the easiest start we could have hoped for. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 69 of this FM23 story, The Head Coach, with me, Daniel. We are back today for another very difficult test in the Premier League against Liverpool. Our start as a Palace manager and a relegation favourite. It's not been the friendliest, has it? We managed to pick up our first win, but we are still yet to win a Premier League match. So if you're looking forward to seeing if we can do that today and what tools our director of football gives us on deadline day in a transfer window, then please do put a thumbs up on it. I think we've seen already which end of the table we're going to be competing at. We have not got the quality to get up to the top there, but hopefully we can pick up enough points. If we have a quick look though at what's been happening off the pitch in terms of transfers, because a lot of the offers coming in have either been rejected or the players have then rejected to go out on loan, for example. Lots of interest in our experienced goalkeepers and some of our younger midfielders too. Staff still coming in, but not probably at a quick enough rate that I like. And in terms of the transfers, it's been a little bit frustrating. So the first thing to look at is a player who went out yesterday in Junior Firpo. He was a left back who wanted to move on, and at 34, great regeneration of the squad, let him go. He was a backup player and he wasn't great, so Salzburg took him off our hands. It looked like we were going to get a very good young replacement because our director of football made an offer for this guy, Thiago. 4 Brazil caps at 22, could play left back, centre half and hold in midfield. And I thought, yes, he's trying to regenerate his squad. He's trying to get youth in. He rejected a contract with us, decided to stay at his current club. And instead, the director of football, as I'm sure you've already seen, has bought in Renan Lodi from Chelsea. £9 million, a thoroughly decent player. Another Brazilian, a much more experienced international, but 32 years of age, only slightly better at the moment. His stamina's going already. He's not great in the air. He's not versatile. It's a big problem for us. So it looks like we're going for that experience route again. The positive on the other side of that is we did get Luigi Castro in from Atalanta. His work permit was approved with 10.75 million the price. He's a good player for the future. Really pleased to have him in. Played well in the cup tie midweek, made his debut in the league last weekend, but he's not an instant solution. We're still not getting players at their peak. So if we have a look at the schedule for how that's affected results, it's been a slow start, let's be honest with you. We've lost the 2 games against the traditional big clubs. We've been frustrated in drawing the other 2. So we lost 2-0 at Arsenal, you saw last time out. A 2-2 draw at home to Southampton. A late equaliser as we came from behind twice. Ribeiro and Almqvist scoring those goals. A 1-0 defeat at home to Spurs, 91st minute penalty did my head in. And then a 1-1 draw at Leicester. We went ahead on a stroke of half-time with a brilliant Neto free kick. Maddison scored early in the second half. Kelleher rounded off the day with a red card. And against Millwall, we did get our first win. John Buckley and Almqvist again managing to add another goal. Didn't take his penalty well later on in the match though. So that's the position we're in at the moment. We do get our first win, but the dynamics aren't great because we don't look great at Premier League level. And to be fair, we were predicted relegation for a reason. We've got one of the worst squads in this league, and tomorrow is going to be a very big day. Only 10 million left on a transfer budget, only 15 grand left on the wage budget. Still interest in a few of our backup players, and probably most importantly in Neto as well. Are we going to lose a keeper? Are we going to lose our best player? And are we going to lose a lot of the squad depth? 3 questions we'll find the answer to tomorrow. But now, though, it is Super Sunday in the Premier League. We've had a thriller between Arsenal and Leicester. The other side of North London have won as well in Tottenham. But what about Palace v Liverpool? The visitors will be heavy favourites. We have not been great in recent days. But we've got Kelleher, who I think we signed from them, didn't we? And the rest of the team, hopefully, will be at their best. So let's go and get through to it. We've not been battered in any game, and at home we've been solid. It's a sellout at Selhurst Park. We're going to pick this 11 ourselves. We'll be back in a minute to run through it as we head into our 5th game, looking for our first win in the league. Well, it's very simple in the end. We know what our best 11 is here. I just don't know that it's good enough. I'm going for a slight role change with Ivan Toney, purely because this is the role I've bought on Almqvist in and it's worked really well at times. Tony's got all the attributes to do it, and I feel that he can maybe set Ribeiro free, whereas at the moment, perhaps are both arriving in the box at the same time and the same place. So we're going to try and change that up. Pasalic will have to play as an advanced playmaker, which suits his physical attributes better at 35. The rest of the team though picks itself. It's Odysseus in goal, because of course Rajkovic not quite back from injury yet. Either one could be sold on deadline day the way we're going. Richards, Polido and Nicolau at the back three. Couto and Kelleher back from suspension, the wing backs. Neto and Davis alongside them in holding midfield, with Pasalic, Ribeiro and Toney the front three. I have got to say I've been impressed how much we've been better defensively. We've not given away tons of chances in any match, but I am worried we've got a lack of goals. I don't know if that's a defensive tactic or maybe the fact that we haven't got a great or a Premier League level striker. But let's just go and see how we get on in this one. Palace v Liverpool, another one where there's no real pressure. So let's see if we can cause a shock, as there's 3 changes for the visitors. They've got Trent Alexander-Arnold coming back in, the skipper at right back. Cucurella's still there on the left-hand side, having joined from Chelsea. Max Aarons drops to the bench. Salah's still on the bench as well. Azar Diaz, Nunes, Canate, the likes of Inacio, who we had in the FM22 head coach. Ferran Torres, a quality player as well. And then Alfie Devine and Harvey Elliott, young star English players in real life. So lots of quality in that team. Lots of experience, lots of youth, and a few players at their peak. It's sort of the perfect blend. And to be honest, we don't look like we can compete with that. We've got a few nerves around. We've not got the same ability without Morgan Gibbs-White. So we're going to go advanced playmaker there. We're trying the new role with Toney. We'll see how it works out. Into the first half we go. This could go either way. Well, again, I'll apologise here because our plan for the game is to keep it pretty boring. Try and keep it tight against these top sides. And I know I've got criticism for that at previous clubs and in certain games, which it doesn't look like it's going to be successful here, by the way, as that clearance from Tom Davis is awful. Cucurella on the left-hand side into the box. Time to run and shoot. His shot's wild and wayward. Someone could have slid in there, but it stays 0-0. But I know I get criticism for our style at times, but particularly at this club, in these sorts of games, if we come out and play we're a lunatic, we'll get battered. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to compete. So we've got to try and restrict them. They've had no shot on target in half an hour. And then when we play against those bottom sides at home, we did it against Southampton for the most part. We played on the front foot. We played positive. We weren't really able to dominate the game, but we competed. Here, I think we've got to count our losses as Neto loses out in a challenge. Clousdale forward for Liverpool, into the box unopposed. Too easy, but Odysseus saves the day. Good goalkeeping. It's tipped behind for a corner kick. We've got another chance to survive it. But you saw how bad we were at them against Arsenal. It ain't got much better. It's up to the back post. Ribeiro heads away. Pasalic brings it down. Devine switches it. It's back into Elliott. We've taken everyone back for set pieces now, trying to keep it risk-free where possible. And here we go again as Liverpool on the attack. Shots over the bar. 35 gone. We're happy at the moment. How long does it last is the question. Liverpool starting to dominate the stats, albeit without the possession. And here they come again down the right as we chase back with Nicolau. Oh, that's awful. In your own box, man. You were bought in for being an upgrade in defence. You've got experience. Just get rid of it. And he doesn't do so. Thankfully, his international teammate saves the day. And it's long downfield to Ribeiro. Mistake by the defender for Liverpool. Smash and grab chance. It's wide. And this is what we talked about. We have not got a clinical Premier League striker. You cannot afford to miss chances like that. But he's not a great finisher. He's not the most composed. Let's be brutally honest. He's a championship player in the Premier League. And he's one of our best strikers at the club. This is the problem we're going to have this year. We are reliant on keeping clean sheets to get results. We've got no pressure on us. Let's get into the second half. If we get another one like that, we've got to take it. But Toney at his age hasn't got the pace. Ribeiro hasn't got the ability. It just leaves us a little bit short. But an hour gone, it's still 0-0. At the moment, we've got to be pleased with that. Well, not for the first time in our short tenure. Odysseus is currently player of the match as Ribeiro's in for the second time. Oh, he's missed another one. He's through on goal. He hits the post unopposed. He's got to score. And that is 2 glorious chances. Say what you want about this match because Liverpool have pasted us for the most part. We've had the 2 best chances and Ribeiro's missed them both. On for him will come Almqvist. He will switch. I'm actually going to put Tony as the advance forward and see what happens. He's not the quickest, but he can finish. And then Almfist will be the deep liar there. I'm also going to take off Pasalic. He'll be replaced by maybe Grombach, who's done okay in that role at times. Bit more of an attacking midfielder, a runner, rather than someone who's trying to create. And then further back, is there time for a change yet? Kelleher on another yellow card. He's not even aggressive. I don't really get where that's coming from. He doesn't dive into tackles. He's supposed to be good at that anyway. So a very strange situation, but I'll leave it as it is with the exception of Castro on for Davis. He was looking a little bit apprehensive. So let's get the young fearless player on. 15 to go, fresh legs in. Can we hold on for what would be a brilliant point? Because at the moment, this has been an excellent display, but we saw against Spurs, only takes one little moment of magic late on. They're bringing on the likes of Salah and Diaz. We're not able to do that. We're hopeful. As Castro gets the ball wide to Couto. He gets it down the line to Tony, who starts his run down the right. Could it be Almfist and Tony as the front two later on? That might be another option. As Castro, inside towards Almfist, gets behind with the header. But again, we're not getting in behind them. It's 16 yards out. It's not going to be an easy chance with your head. And Baxter is able to comfortably hold it. Big kick over the top. Headed away by Richards and Castro. It's back inside to Kelleher, who breaks down the left to Almfist. Two getting forward here. Can we get the ball in the box? This is a great turn. Tony's up. That's the position we want him. But the header's just over the bar. Good football there from Crystal Palace. But now we've got tired legs. It's going to be Kelleher ideally coming off, but he's not going to. Who can I bring on? It's going to have to be Neto, I think, in that holding role. Buckley will replace him. And Richards has been really struggling. So Mustafa on for him. We've got 5 minutes to hold on. It would be a great result. I still maintain that we've had three of the best chances of this match. But into the 92nd minute, and this is roughly when Spurs broke our heart. Ferran Torres on as a sub, gets it back to his keeper. Timber brings it forward. We're so defensive now. Salah in behind. He's still got half an hour in him. Nicolau loses out. And a shot straight at the keeper. That was really poor from the left centre half. But we get away with it. We pick up another point. And at the moment, that's enough for me. We do really well to get a draw. It's ugly. It's gritty. We did have chances on the break. But that's the way we're going to have to play. We're going to have to be Roy Hodgson's Palace to stay up. But at the moment, we're picking up points in a tough start. Now let's get to deadline day. Just give me one striker who can finish. And then I think I'll be a happy man. Whether we've got enough budget for that at Premier League level, I'm not quite so sure. Back in a moment to find out. Well, it's transfer deadline day, and we've got a bit of a dilemma here because, of course, we're waiting on our director of football to produce, and I think this is going to come down to one thing. Does Neto get sold? He's linked with Manchester United. He's worth a lot of money, although the asking price does seem to have gone down now. If he goes and we can get a striker, I'd probably be happy, but that's not going to be up to us. So let's see what happens on deadline day. Nothing suggesting that we're linked with anyone other than Watford's Alberto Malero. And he's another midfielder. He'd be a good replacement for Neto. He'd be a good attacking midfielder. And he's 26, which we've got to appreciate. I want to see us linked with a striker. And at the moment, that doesn't seem to be it. No. All three that we're linked with are attacking midfielders. Malero from Watford. Bilal El Kanous from Brentford. And finally Volpato from Rangers, who is good. No strikers, no great finishers. This is going to be a frustrating day, isn't it? Let's take part. There's 15 hours to go. Director of Football, Dougie Freedman. It's all over to you. What can you do? Well. Just a couple of hours in and we are already getting a lot of offers for our players. No sign of anyone joining though, which is a worry. We'll talk about the under-21 side in a minute. It is the EFL trophy, so I'll put out a few stronger players. And in fact, it does lead to another problem, which Lodi sort of identifies. We've only got 25 slots in the squad, and at the moment, it is completely full with the players we can register. Castro and Mert are under 21s, they get away with it. But if there's one more sign-in without a sale, we can't register a player, and we're close on the homegrown quota as well, so we can't lose a homegrown player either. Dion Maidel looks like he's not leaving, that's rejected by Swansea. I'm not sure why. He's not a very good player. Hoffenheim coming for Neto. It's accepted. And it's only 46 million. I say only, but he's worth more than that. 20% sell on as well. Why are they selling him for that price? It just doesn't make sense. He's a very good footballer. You better be getting one hell of a replacement for that. Get me a striker, get me someone else. We'll go through the team meeting, transfer list, who they say. We'll be back in a minute for any deals in and Neto's likely departure. Well, 2 hours later, and an offer has gone in for what I think would have been a striker. I'm presuming it's the person I think it is. Unfortunately, I can see it's been rejected further up. Maybe there'll be a new bid, I don't know. But Troy Parrott is the man that he's gone in for. 28-year-old striker from Everton. Again, probably championship level, but maybe a slight upgrade on Ribeiro. At least another option, if nothing else. And in fact, yeah, Everton are a championship side. So he's playing as a rotation option for a championship team. That's the level of striker our director of football's looking at. Albeit, I would have taken it. So let's see what happened. It was rejected at 12 million quid. We've got nothing else we can give. So 12 hours to go. We'll wait on Neto. And hopefully, there's at least another offer for a striker. That's maybe the promising sign to take from that. There is the moment then, and there's more bad news as well, because Neto has gone to Hoffenheim for £46 million up front. We're only getting 16 million of it to spend. The board are being very tight. They're preparing for the championship again. So that takes us up to about a 25 million budget. And the problem there is that ATG get 50 or 40%, of the transfer profit and 2.5% of that deal there. So out of that move, they're going to get 13 million quid essentially. It is a big problem for us. We're making nothing. So we're going to go through to the rest of the day. It does free up wages and transfers. Surely there's got to be an in. The problem is, does he now focus on a Neto replacement or does he go back in for Parrott or another striker? Ideally, I'd like a 20 million midfielder and Parrott, but we'll wait and see if any of that comes off. Well, another frustrating few hours have passed. Lots of offers coming in, all of which have been rejected so far. But I'm looking at this offer for Harry Lewis, rejected for our third keeper. I'm going to let Dougie Freedman chat to him because he's unhappy. It is not a good sign. 7 hours to go, no offers going in. You've got the money from Neto now. There's 30 million in the bank. You saw you needed a player. You were trying to sign Troy Parrott. What on earth are you doing now, Dougie? Pull your finger out and make this evening count, because I need a superstar if we're going to survive. We've lost our best player. We've got no Premier League strikers. At least give me a chance, man. I wish I was still at Ipswich at this rate. Well, finally, with 5 hours to go, we are seeing some movement, but as you can see, it's another rejected offer. I'm not quite sure what to make of this at the moment, because I don't see how we get anyone in. Incidentally, Ipswich haven't won a game yet this year. Scott Brown replaced us there. Who is Bosch, though? He's a centre midfielder, 3-star ability, 4-star potential from Newcastle. At 23 would have been a good signing, would have been a like-for-like replacement for Neto. I can understand that one. But what's happened since? Rejected a 19 million offer, and again, no follow-up. So Troy Parrott, Yadel Bosch, both made offers, no follow-up. If we'd got both of those in, you'd argue it'd be a decent day. Let's get through the final 5 hours. I'd better see some more offers soon. And hopefully, one that gets accepted at least. Well, an offer has gone in for a player, and I can see at the top of the screen there's been a decision, but I don't know what it is. So us and Sampdoria have come in for Guy Vaknin. He is an Israeli striker at Bournemouth. Right, it's a centre forward. Oh, it's a good one. 15 million quid, 3.5-star ability. Oh, he's perfect. He's a great finisher. He's electric quick. He's fit. He runs in behind. Get me him and all is forgiven, Dougie. Please say it's been accepted. 2 more offers rejected for Maidor. The offer is accepted from Palace, rejected from Everton. Redemption, it might be a strong word, but Dougie Freedman, you are about to become a hero. If we can get this guy in the last 3 hours, I'm going to say it now. We will survive in the Premier League. The best strike-up we will have managed in this series, and it's so close. Please don't let it slip through the fingers. Dougie Freedman, you absolute legend. He's got the job done. Guy Vaknin is in. He's got his work permit. He's on 73 grand a week. And to be fair to him, although he's got a fee release of 40 million, which is a problem, in a short term, he may well keep us up. He is a superstar striker. He is exactly what we needed to run in behind. And alongside one of the other 3, we have now got a Premier League striker. I am absolutely delighted with that deal. Thank you, Director of Football. Guy Vaknin is a 1-in-2 striker. 14 for Bournemouth, 13 for Tel Aviv, 25 at his club before that. More than 1-in-2 for Israel. He is a star. Ivan Toney, welcome him to the club. Okay, apparently he's not going to be able to do that. Squad registration is potentially an issue because we've only got one spot spare. That's the one that was vacated by Neto. Where is Vaknin? I can't find him. There he is. 25 players in the squad. Let's hope we can get one more in. But with 2 hours to go, the main job's been done. We've still lost our best midfielder though. Well, 1 hour to go, and we've got a bit of a weird yet pleasant surprise because another offer's gone in for another very good young player. It's Feyenoord's Alvin Malaki, but he's a defender, which he's shown no intention of signing all day. We've got a lot of strength in depth there, and he looks like he's selling more aggressive attacking players, so a bit of a weird one. But for 8.5 million, he looks like a good young pro. Let's see what he's rated like. Oh yes. Not the best player technically yet, and maybe not natural in our tactic, but a 21-year-old Norwegian international. Very strong, very aggressive, very tall and good in the air. We've got a player for the future there. He'll be a backup player this year. He'll learn his ropes at the club. He's someone who's got a bit about him. I'd quite like that deal, and it looks like the offer's been accepted, so we'll see if it gets done. There have been offers for Maidel, and at last one has been accepted. He has gone to Cardiff for 84 grand plus 1,000 different add-ons. And Stoke have gone for a loan offer for Mitran and not enough of a wage contribution. So Malaki might be joining the club just yet. There's 1 hour to go. Let's see if it gets done in time. Well, it does indeed. I wouldn't say it was quite what we were hoping for. We still haven't replaced Neto, but we've got a defender in. And with a star striker and another bit of ambition for the future, we've got to say it's a pretty good effort, haven't we? 8.5 million, it's a low-risk move. We'll send him on a training course. He's got 5-star potential as well. And if we are looking later down the line for a sort of 4 at the back and a more aggressive tactic, we've now got a great striker who can play up front on his own. We've got good fullbacks that have come into the club. Things are looking positive at the moment, but that might be the end of deadline day. But overall, probably a decent day. We got the star striker we wanted, and Neto, well, we got a decent fee. And there is the end of transfer deadline day. We've got the second lowest wage bill in the league after Norwich. We are expected to be in that relegation mix. And to be fair, it's been calculated gambles by Dougie Freedman. It's been a star out to get another one in. And if we look at it, he's probably prioritised the right position. So on deadline day, following that draw against Liverpool, Neto leaves for £46 million to Hoffenheim. Star midfielder gone, but he wanted out and we got a decent fee. And what it meant was he could go and get Guy Vaknin in from Bournemouth, who for 14.25 million is an absolute steal. I've got so much faith in him. For those of you that followed my save last year, getting a bit of a vibe of Arian Kalantari. You can let me know if you agree with that down in the comments. And then, of course, Alvin Malaki, one for the future, who came in later in the day. Overall, not a bad deadline day, but we are a little short now in midfield. Castro will provide that mix later on, though. We're happy with that. We're looking for our first Premier League win, and to be fair, for the next 6 games or so, we've got a slightly easier run of fixtures coming up. So fingers crossed we can do well in them. If you did enjoy this episode, a very chaotic transfer deadline day in the end and a great result against Liverpool. Apologies that it wasn't an expansive effort though. And please do put a thumbs up on it. If you want to stay up to date with this season, see if our new star striker is as good as I'm hoping he'll be, then subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back tomorrow with our Build a Nation save. It is a massive finish to the season in that one. Make sure you don't miss it before returning here in 2 days' time. In the meantime, you can find all the other playlists, the Twitch channel, football podcast and blog website up in the eye above. And I'll see you back here in a couple of days' time for more big games with Crystal Palace. We'll be back around November time.